back to Python course. This is second lecture of Python fundamental. In this course, this is our first topic is if statement. So, for example, if you want your program to be more interactive, you have to use sometimes conditions like, for example, if age is greater than equals to 18, you are eligible to vote. Else you are not. So here is syntax. For example, select, take a age input from the user. Make sure to it is type of int input. Enter your age. Sorry. After this, we have to write it like this. If this is a keyword, if is a keyword, and after this, you have to write a condition. So our condition for eligibility for vote is greater than or equals to either you are 18 or above 18. So therefore, we are using greater than or equals to. Greater than or equals to 18, we have to print you are eligible to vote. So now if you run this, here is it is asking your age. Just enter your age. Let's say if your age is 18, it is saying you are eligible to vote. Now let's type 20 in age. Again it is saying, now if I type less than or equals to 18, less than 18 actually, so let's go with 16, it prints nothing because our code basically goes to line 1, and then in line 3 when it reaches the age is 16, so it basically out, it gets out from here. There's no one, there's no line after that. But for is less than is equals to or greater than 18, it will go for line 1 and then line 3 and then line 4. So here's some practice question. It's like if marks is greater than equals to 40, you have to print. So we have to take input for marks. Again in integer input, we will take enter your marks. So here we have taken the input of marks and we are going to use if marks is greater than equals to 40. Print pass. Now here is it is asking of O marks. So you can type anything. Let's 45. It is giving pass. Now if we also want for the less than 41, let's say if your marks is less than 40, so you have to basically print fail. Now just input. Now for 40 we are getting pass, and if I write less than 40, just like 39, it is going fail. In the same way we can also do for positive numbers, just like num is equals to int input. Now if num is greater than 0, then print positive. If num equals to 0, print 0. If num is less than 0, then we can print negative. So now if you run this, let's write any number. For 1 it is positive, for 0 it's giving 0, and for -8 that's giving negative. So here you can see that we have taken first num as input, and after that we have written this if keyword, and after that if keyword there is a this is a conditional statement, and after that this is a colon. So colon is used because we want to create a block. So block is created and it started from here and after right after here. So this block will continue until this indentation is here. So what is indentation? Indentation is just a one tab. For example, if after this I want to also print this, something like print num. So for positive, I also written one more code. So for positive, it will also it will also print my number. But for other numbers, let's say 0, it does not, because the code for num is equals to 1, for input equals to 1, it goes to line number 1 and then line number 3, and after it will goes for line number 4 and then 5, and then it print positive and print the num, which is 1. So basically it prints positive and num there. And after that, it checks the condition if num is equals to 0, but here num is not 0, num is 1. So it again exits this, and after it checks that num is less than 0, it again exits because numbers are not less than 0. It is greater than 1, so it is positive. So only this one part is going to execute. For 0, only this one part is going to execute. For negative, only this part is going to execute. Now our next is if not. For example, now for if not, let's say we have student ID list, student ID, equals to, this is sequence I'm creating, which is just I'm going to write some of them ID 123 001 124 and 1234. Now input ID, now input your ID equals to int input, enter your student ID. Now if not, we are going to example for if not your ID in student ID, print you are not belongs belong to this college. Now if I run this, let's type any number. So this ID is not available in here, so therefore it prints you are not belong to this college. This is the basic example of if not statement. Now next one is if else. Now suppose we are doing it like this for marks. Yeah, yeah. So what we are going to do is if the student is not pass, it means fail. So on the same condition, we can run both of things. So we can write it like this: if else, and after that colon, you need to create block after this, and then one indentation after that. Print fail. What this will do, if your marks is greater than equals to 40, you pass. But if this condition is not true, so your code will come to this part, and this code is going to execute after this. So let's try it. Enter the marks. Let's say 43. It is saying pass. Now let's say you are going to type 34. So it is saying fail. So what you could, let's say, see a flow of control of this. You have enter remarks, so it goes to line 1. and after that it goes to line 3. In line 3 it checks a condition. For 43 it is true. So for 43 it is true, so it goes to fourth line after that because the condition is true. But for the input 34, marks is not greater than equals to 40 because 34 is less than 40. So this code is not going to execute. So after that, first line and third line, it will go into fifth line and then sixth. So this part is going to print. So therefore 34, for 34, fail is printed. And there's another common example. Just suppose if you want to print whether a number is even or not. For example, take an input from a user, enter your number. Now here for checking even number, we have to use modulo. If you have remember from previous lecture, modulo is used for getting a remainder. So if num modulo 2 is equals to 0, basically if on dividing by 2, if you divide num by 2 and the remainder is 0, then this condition will become true. So you have to print even. And after this, you have to type else, because if number is not even, so it's a 0. If number is not even, so it is odd. So here you can type any number, it's like we are going for 3. So for 3, let's try check first. 5. If you do 3 modulo 2, it is returning 1. If you try 2 modulo 2, it returns 0. Again 4 modulo 2, 0. Now 5 modulo 2. So for every odd number, it will become 1, and for every even number, it is 0. So, so for here we have input, here for even input, here for odd input, it is basically it is returning odd because num is 3 and this condition becomes false. So after that it prints odd. Now for even, you can even check for even. Now try even number, let's say 8, it prints 8. Also, if for negative and positive, you can also do it like this. Just replace this, num is greater than 0, print positive, negative. Now if you run this will return positive, and for -5, it return negative. So now one more thing, if we do this like we have earlier, for num greater than 0, negative. So basically this is our code one, this is our next new code, and this is our first code which we have write. So this one is much better because we need only one time to check condition, while in this one we have to check condition out 2 times. For example, num is greater than 0, and then after that we have to check num is less than 0 or not. So else will solve this problem, because if the number is not positive, then it is negative. So what does else do? It will first do if, and after that, on the second time, it gives like this: if num is greater than 0, or for better understanding, you can do it like this: condition equals to num greater than. You can also store condition in any variable. If condition. So here's so what the else is doing is you have stored a condition, and after if condition is true, then it goes to this, and if not condition, then it's negative. So else is doing, so what the else is doing is that it will only require to check condition only one time, and it will make a code simple also. after that. We have also one more thing, which is check if a leap year is a leap year or not. So for this, take the input year in form of integer and then input enter year. Now, now every leap year is divisible by 4. So here we take year modulo 4. If year is divisible by 4, then it should, if any number is divisible by 4, then it should give 0 remainder. So if year is giving 0 remainder, then you can simply print. So for divisible by 4, it will return leap year. It will print leap year, and you can, after that you can do it like else. Print not leap year. So you can run this. Enter year. Now let's say 2004. It is a leap year, and after that, let's say current year, which is 2026, is not a leap year. Now next one is if else. Now suppose we have a code just like if marks is greater than 90, we have to give the grade outstanding. But if marks is greater than 80, we have to give grade A plus, and greater than A, greater than 70, then we have to give grade A in the same way. So what does this if and then else? If marks is not greater than 90, it will jump back to 75. It is checking for marks greater than 75 or not. Basically, this condition executes two things. This ensures that marks is neither greater than 90, is not greater than 90, but is somewhat between 75. So here you can check the code. Let's take input again marks, integer input. Now enter the marks basically. So if marks greater than equals to 90, we can print grade O. Let's first try without if. Now if marks is not greater than 90, so for that we have to use marks is less than 90 and marks is greater than or equals to 80. We have to print A plus. Now if marks is greater than 80 and marks is less than equals to, no, marks is less than 80 and marks is greater than equals to 70, we have to give print A. We will return grade A. And after this, if marks is less than 70 and marks is greater than equals to, let's say 33, then print B. Now if marks is less than 33, you can print fail. Okay, so now here you can see if marks is greater than 90, then it will going to print O. But if it is now if it's going to next condition, this will already become false, then it will also become false. They all become false because they all are less than 90. Let's try this. If you try 91, it will give O. If you try it 83, it will give A plus. it will try, if you try 75, it will give you A. If you try 65, it will going to give you B. If you got 30, then you will get fail. So here you can see you are using conditions in a multiple times. It's like we know that after this marks is greater than or equals to 70. If it is not, then this condition will become also already true. Here you can see it. Just copy this. Okay. If marks, now we are going to short this version of code using elif. So now after if use marks is greater than or equals to 90, just print O. Now after that elif. What does elif means? Elif means else if basically. If your marks is not greater than 90, it will going to execute this code. But if your marks is greater than 90, then it goes to this and exit the if loop, if conditional statement, if block basically. So now after we will try if marks is greater than or equals to 80, you can print A plus, and again after that if marks is greater than or equals to 70, print A, elif marks is greater than or equals to 33, you can print B. Now after that you have to use else, because if these conditions are not true, that means it is failed. So basically what will happen, if it is marks is greater than 90, it will going to execute this code. But if it is not greater than 90, then it is going to execute, then the code falls in this part. Now after this will check for marks greater than 80. So if it is greater than 80, then it is going to print this, print A plus. But if it is again not greater than 80, so it is going to check these condition again. So for marks, and then again for mark 70, marks 33, and also else for fail. So you can see that it is short. Else if makes the code more simpler and shorter. Here we have some more questions like check whether a number is positive, negative. We have already done this, but there is one thing which is remaining. For example, we have done this in input from the user, enter a number, and after this, if num is greater than 0, then print positive. After that, we are going to use else if num is less than 0. We are going to print negative. But if num is equals to 0, we cannot give condition else. If a number is neither greater than 0 nor less than 0, so it basically it means it is 0. Your number is 0. So you can use like this. So now if you execute this, enter a number, it's like a 12, it returns positive. For minus 45, minus 54, it gives negative, let's see. And this is 0. For 0, it returns 0.